Well, hello there, and welcome to my energy reading for the week beginning the 29th of March 2021. If you don't know who I am, my name's Karen Turpin. You can find my website at karenturpin.com. And I have three cards for us today to begin. The first one is narrowness, 9 of crystals. We've had that come up a few times before. And what this card kind of represents is, or it kind of highlights to us, begs the question, are we being fixed and intolerant with something? So do we have a narrow-minded view of the world? The second card that I've pulled today is one of the major arcana cards. It's called time and space. So this card is all about the law of karma, the law of laws. And it says to us that with a telescopic vision, when we focus in on something, we can actually see cause and effect, how that has played out in our life, maybe even using other lifetimes, how it's brought us to this life. So it shows us the effect of our choices, our mental behavior patterns, and how all of that brings us to where we are right now. And the third card is the Three of Crystals. Now, crystals are always representing your mental mind, your creative mind qualities, in a sense, creative mental qualities. And this card is saying to us that as we look through a crystal, there is so much there. And depending on what angle we look at, we can see many, many different perspectives. And so the card kind of invites us to look at things from other angles, not just the one angle. So I've picked up a crystal here to show you. You've obviously seen crystals before, but when I turn it, even though it's the same crystal, we're getting a completely different perspective of what's in there. It's a beautiful crystal, this one. And when I look at it, no matter which angle I'm turning it, I can see a multitude of rainbows, and it looks like there's a whole different world in there, a whole different reality, whole different perspective. So this card is kind of talking to us about looking at things from different angles, different perspectives as well, to get a different, broader vision of what's really happening. And so on a personal level, these cards, when we bring them together, I would invite you to consider a few things. Firstly, are we being narrow-minded in about a particular idea, or perhaps a possibility of a potential for us? Are we being narrow-minded? Are we shutting down and just kind of sticking into our mentalness, as opposed to opening up into that creative time space of the second card? Another question we might ask ourselves is, have we had an idea coming through to us? It could be intuition, it could be in the dream state, or just a thought that you keep having repetitively. Is something coming to us on a creative level that we're shutting down, again, through our own narrow-mindedness, first card, because we can't see the possibility or the potential in the second card, and we're shutting down and not looking at it from a different angle, the third card. I love playing with the cards like that. So are we being invited to look at something from a different perspective? If you look at it from a different angle, could it work? Is it feasible? Is it something that you could move into and just explore the possibilities that might be there for you? Another question we might look at with this particular spread of cards is, are you now reaping what you have sown in the past? Because, did you forget about the law of cause and effect, that at some point in the future it would come back? Because we create our own reality based on the actions, the choices, decisions, behaviors, thoughts that we've had previously that all lead us up to this point. So with this card spread, we might be asking, am I reaping what I sowed now? And that could be that we're experiencing something from a very uncomfortable position now, with that narrow and rigid mind, that difficult position. Or perhaps we're fully into reaping what we sowed, and we're getting exactly what we intended to create because we've used our mind, our mental capacity, represented by the crystals. We've used our mental capacity to begin to create something amazing because we dreamt it, we visioned it, we intuited it, and we started to put our energy into creating our reality and using time and space, the law of karma, in that respect. So perhaps we've created something amazing and the cards are reflecting to us, kind of like in a celebration of what it is that we're creating, the power of ourselves as a creative force, as a creative being in this world. Now, on a planetary level, we're at a pretty amazing time right now. So we have to recognize, and again, these cards could reflect that to us, we have to recognize that if we have an inability to open our mind and look at things really in a whole new light from where we are now, be open-minded, be awake in a sense, that the potential there is for us to be really locked in, kind of trapped in that rigidity and that old 3D mental construct of this controlled planet. So, you know, the cards can be showing us that. Are we locked in through our own rigidity of mind that we can't see that there could be another way for us to live and experience this challenging time or this opportunity that we're going through and experiencing at a planetary level? So when we realize that creative force within us, you know, that creative force to literally create any reality that we choose to, well, then this indicates to us that we are completely supported right now in that creational process. And so that if we put our mind to something, we can create exactly what it is that we want to create in the physical level, because we're definitely at a time right now on the planet where we can work with these creative laws of space and time, because we're moving into this whole new timeline, remember? So in that new timeline, we really have to create a whole new way of being, a whole new reality. So, you know, is it possible for us even to move beyond our karma, the karma that we've carried with us up until this point, with all of this inner child healing or shadow work or just, you know, consciousness and awareness and growth that we've been going through? Is it possible that we could evolve beyond our karma by obviously clearing it, healing it, and with a complete understanding of the cause and effect, that what we have done before has led us right to this point where we are right now? So therefore, as we move into this new timeline that we're moving into right now, excuse me, you know, could we move into a timeline where we are really beyond the karma that we had been working through previously while we were stuck just at this bandwidth of 3D on this planet? So now as we move into a 5D planet, is it possible that we've done enough work that we can shed that karma and move into kind of like starting with a clean slate, a blank slate at that 5D timeline level? Now, remember, of course, that we can't trick this. We can't trick karma. This is a universal law. And so we can say, oh, yeah, I've done so much work on myself and I'm so evolved. But you can't trick karma. You can't trick the laws of the universe. It's all written in truth, and it's all there for, everyone to see, really. So we definitely know that we can't move into this 5D new timeline Earth when we're still in the very low vibration of fear and anger and hostility and judgment and all of that stuff. We definitely have to have done enough work within ourselves that we can clear that and move beyond it. Um, as I say, we can't pretend it because it is the whole vibration of our being, actually. But, maybe we need to surrender to our own creativity and just, allow higher consciousness, our own higher consciousness to come through and work with us and, kind of guide us into these situations that we might see as karma coming back. However, we might also choose to see it as an invitation or an opportunity to heal and clear that karma and fully release it from the body, thereby lifting us into a whole higher vibration within ourselves. So, into those elevated principles of integrity and truth and compassion and ultimate freedom, really, and then ultimately the vibration of love, which is a state of being. So as we do our healing and clearing of that inner work, we're just evolving into this higher vibration of ourself. And then we get to work with no time in the quantum field, and then we can allow the full power come through us as the creative beings that we actually are. And so when we align to the whole of our when we align the whole of our being to those higher vibrational states of love and gratitude, truth, integrity, all of that, when we become all of that within ourselves, then we have a shift of consciousness. It's all going on within us. And then we have a whole shift of our reality on the external level, because it all starts from within. And who we are and how we are on the inside is reflected on the outside in this whole reality shift. This is why you can have two people kind of living in the same town having a whole different experience of that place because of their inner state of being. So just imagine if we could do this as a collective, if we could all just heal all of that shit that went before, and if we could raise ourselves and become more conscious and more loving, more creative beings, and hold a higher vibration in our consciousness, then of course our reality, the shift, would be expressed on the outside, and we would have a whole shift of reality too. So imagine if we could do that on a collective level and create a whole shift of reality that we all experience here on this planet. And then perhaps is that not then this new timeline that we're moving into, this 5D timeline, recognizing, of course, that some people have evolved far beyond the 5D level anyway. The planet is just trying to catch up. But if we all do our inner work and we are holding higher vibrational state of being within us, it's going to be reflected outside. And then there's the collective shift of reality as we begin to anchor in that new timeline, that would be 5D and then beyond. And goodness knows, don't we need a shift of reality on the planet right now? So something to think about, something to work towards. Continue doing your healing, your shadow work, because we all love that, don't we? Certainly, we love the freshness that we feel after we've gone through those processes, and we can feel a higher vibration coming in and through our body and evolving us into higher states of consciousness and being. So there you go. That was a little bit more bit more of an expansive reading for this week. Something to think about, I hope. If you have any comments or any questions, please don't hesitate to DM me through Instagram or Facebook. I'm Karen Turpin, spiritual coach. You can also find this on YouTube, on BitChute, and it'll be on my Facebook page find me. If you have a question, find me. Send me the question in, DM me, and I'd love to talk with you. So I hope this has been helpful and given you something to think about for the week. Have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.